Now in the Valley today, a fight caught on camera in a Valley City school has one mom wondering what the school is doing to protect students. And more problems around the Dakota Access Pipeline. Protesters once again moved their demonstration onto private land, causing another clash with police.
And our stretch of great weather continues today. In your forecast, we've got more sunshine, and it gets even better for the weekend. All of your forecasts coming up.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is the Valley Today on Fargo CW.
Hey, very happy Thursday morning, everyone, and thank you so much for waking up with the Valley Today on Fargo CW. Just past 7 a.m., I'm Kyle Bosch. Lisa Bedeau has the day off. Well, in a Valley News Live exclusive for you this morning, a school attack is caught on camera, and the victim's mom says no supervisors were around to stop it. Cassie Earls of Valley City says she's frustrated after she says her daughter was beaten up during school, and she contacted our whistleblower hotline to tell us about it. She says that this aggressive incident that you're seeing on video right here lasted for nearly a minute over the lunch hour, and no staff ever showed up to help her child. Now, Earl says that the girl who recorded the video was expelled from school, but the girl who attacked her daughter was only suspended for 8 days. And she thinks that the school needs to take more action to fight bullying.
For a parent to see your child get assaulted for a minute, the school system failed. I mean, you're in the middle of lunch. There should have been some kind of supervision. You can't tell me that with these 50 kids making noise around in this video, somebody didn't hear.
Now, Earl says she is not planning to press charges against the student who beat up her daughter because the school already has. Well, let's get a first check of our weather this morning with meteorologist Lisa Green, and we are headed for another pretty nice day here in the Valley again.
Yeah, if you can believe it. More sunshine, more pleasant temperatures. You're not going to have to wear that heavy coat. In fact, you might want to shed your jacket this afternoon and for several days coming up in the forecast. 59 degrees, your high today in Fargo, 56 in Grand Forks, and we're going to see some sunny skies this afternoon. Some places still in the 40s, but our average high for this time of year in Fargo is 46 degrees. So we are well above that in our forecast, and even the places that are coolest still at or above average. So we're all doing just fine here coming up for today. There are some clouds here and there in the valley. We'll see those break up and get some sunshine coming up, and maybe a couple of sprinkles in Otter Tail County. Expanding the view, that disturbance that rolled through yesterday is gone, and we're enjoying some clearing skies out west and western parts of North Dakota, and some dry weather coming up for us here today. Here's a look at our temperatures. Some places have dipped down into the low 30s now with the clearing that's been going on. 34 in Jamestown and Thief River Falls, both at 34 degrees, so a little chilly for you. Elsewhere, we've got some upper 30s to some low 40s, 43 in Detroit Lakes and Wadena. It's 35 in Grand Forks. Our visibility has come down again in Can-Do. We're now at 1/4 of a mile, so that is getting pretty dense here for your fog in that region in Towner County. So careful traveling in that region this morning. Grand Forks, you're at 7 miles. Looks like we may have a little bit more patchy dense fog just west of you over toward the Amaretto area. And then there are a couple of pockets here where it's coming down too. In Fergus Falls, we're at 2.5 miles. So careful, watch out for that fog. It's pretty isolated, but there's still some low visibility being reported out there. And here's a look at that forecast for the next couple of days. Seeing those temperatures creep right back up into the 60s by Friday. That hunting opener going to be a warm one, but a dry one. And we'll have a very nice day for tailgating on Saturday. 65 degrees for your high, mostly sunny skies. That should be the pick day of the weekend, but each one of the days coming up through Sunday looks great. Our next chance for rain Sunday night and into Monday. And it's not going to introduce a big pattern change or anything like that. We're still looking mild after that system moves out. So nice so far for November. Exactly.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. We are following some breaking news for you this morning. 2 U.S. service members have been killed and 2 others hurt fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan. NATO made the announcement in a statement this morning. They say that the service members came under fire during a train, advise, and assist mission. The names of the men and where they are from have not been released. Well, developing for you this morning, President Barack Obama says the administration is waiting on the Army Corps of Engineers to examine whether there are ways to reroute the Dakota Access Pipeline and would, quote, let it play out. But state officials say letting it play out could put people in danger after another confrontation between police and protesters yesterday. The latest incident happened on the banks of the Canapita Creek, which is about 40 miles south of Bismarck. The Army Corps of Engineers yesterday asked Morton County to remove a makeshift bridge being built across the creek and arrest protesters who were trespassing. Police did use a boat to pull the bridge apart, then used tear gas and pepper spray on a group who refused to leave the area. The standoff ended shortly before 2 yesterday afternoon when protesters returned to the main camp. One person was arrested. Well, since August 10th, 415 people have been arrested in connection to the pipeline protests, and we're getting some new information about exactly where they are all from. Police say that the people arrested come from 43 different states and Canada. The Morton County Sheriff's Department says most of those arrested are from South Dakota or California, but 35 people are from North Dakota, and 28 people have been arrested multiple times. Well, at a time when supporters of Measure 2, which is one of the measures that is on the North Dakota ballot this year, which focuses on a fund that uses the oil extraction tax, we're getting news that oil prices continue to take a hit. Prices fell more than $1.30 yesterday, now sitting at $45.34 a barrel. The drop happened after word of a 34-year record for oil supplies around the world. North Dakota's oil market has struggled over the last year due to large amounts of oil on the world market. Well, also developing for you this morning, authorities in Iowa are trying to figure out exactly what motivated the ambush-style killings of 2 police officers. Police believe Scott Green used a rifle to murder a rookie and veteran officer as they sat in their squad cars early yesterday. The 46-year-old Green, who was known to police, did turn himself in. Investigators in Mississippi are looking for a person responsible for what they suspect is an arson attack at a historic black church. Someone also spray-painted "Vote Trump" on the side of that church. Firefighters discovered the message as flames engulfed the church Tuesday night. No one was hurt in the fire. Investigators say they are interviewing witnesses and may have a person of interest in the case. Well, in our election 2016 coverage this morning, with voters going to the polls in just 5 days, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are holding dueling rallies in the crucial state of North Carolina today. In Arizona yesterday, Clinton painted a dire picture of Trump as president. Well, Trump spent the day in Florida hammering Clinton over the FBI's inquiry into her email server. President Obama campaigned for Clinton in North Carolina yesterday, indirectly criticizing FBI Director James Comey for the email controversy. Well, as we tick down to Election Day, we're continuing our look at the measures that will be on the North Dakota ballot this year. And this morning, we're taking a closer look at Measure 2, which will decide if state legislators and educators can have access to about $600 million in one of the state savings accounts. Now, a yes vote on 2 would give access to the account so the money could be used for education. A no vote would continue to allow the savings account to only be used when the governor makes across-the-board budget cuts. Now, opponents of Measure 2 are worried that lawmakers could use the money as a permanent funding source and not leave any savings for the future. Supporters, however, say the money would only be used in times of need.
If you think for a second that the voters of North Dakota are going to let the legislature squander this money on something that's not related to K-12 education, that's a completely mistaken view.
Our concern, if it's spent, is it's a short-term solution that would result in potentially long-term consequences over the long run.
And we have broken down all of the North Dakota ballot measures for you. And if you'd like to learn more about them before you head to the polls, you can head to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on the Elections tab. In our consumer alert this morning, Wall Street could be trading lower again today as nervous investors continue to keep track of the election. Stocks fell yesterday with the S&P 500 dropping for the 7th straight session, the first time that's happened in 5 years. The Fed, as expected, did keep interest rates unchanged yesterday, but did say that they don't need much more evidence to justify a move. It boosts the chances for an interest rate hike next month. NDSU police have now identified 2 men wanted in connection with knocking over an ROTC monument on campus. The statue outside the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse was pushed over sometime between midnight and 8 a.m. Sunday. The police report is now being forwarded to the Fargo City Attorney's Office for possible charges. Well, the party is still going on in Chicago this morning after the Cubs entered their 108-year title drought. That was the final play. The celebration on the field going crazy, and the celebration outside Wrigley Field as well. The Cubs beating the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in 10 innings. Again, the first World Series title for the Cubs since 1908. How much sugar is too much when it comes to your kid's diet? It can certainly be very confusing. But coming up next, our partners at Consumer Reports help us sort through some of the sugar myths and show us some easy ways to make sure your kids aren't eating too much.